Hey everyone, I'm convinced that we live in a world of basically two different value systems, or a country, probably a world, two different value systems. I don't understand the other side, and I'm guessing that the other side just does not understand me. That's the only way that I can make sense of any of this. I don't get it. Jeff Lemire posted this, comic artists against fascism. And if you're not familiar with what this logo looks like, this is basically a comic book rendition of the Antifa symbol. Now, Antifa, when I look around, I don't see Antifa as an organization to be admired. And I'm just shocked at how many people think that they're heroes. It blows my mind. Also, if you boil this all down, I'm kind of getting into politics, I guess. I don't want comics to be about politics. I've specifically been avoiding the news lately because all I see when I get on Twitter, I see videos that I cannot unsee from the riots that are going on, or the police officer kneeling on the dude's neck. All this stuff, I cannot unsee it. And I don't want to see it, but for some reason it's there, and my curiosity gets, my mind going, and I watch it, and I just think, where do I live? What is going on? All right. Anyway, so I don't want comics to be about politics. I've had enough about politics. I've had enough of just the war in general, culture war. I mean, I'm more interested in talking about the culture war as far as entertainment goes. But when you start getting into actual acts of violence and making those out to be a good positive thing, I'm sorry, I can't go with you there. How many fascists, this is part of the problem. How many fascists do you really think, Jeff Lemire, how many fascists do you think live in the United States? How many people would openly say that they're pro-fascism? Not very many. So either you think that they don't know that they're fascists. I know that's what you're thinking. Or two, just maybe you are prone to use hyperbole, and you're going to call everyone a fascist that does not agree with you politically. I think that that's more likely the case. Okay, nobody's supporting fascism. How many communists do you know personally that openly support communism? Do you think communism's a good idea? It's ridiculous. So every time I hear that there's no political agenda in comics, creators would never do that. You point something like this out and you say, why are you calling your readers fascists? Because you believe that your readers are fascists and they don't even know it. That's what you think. I'm not stupid. That it's obvious that that's what you think. All right. Beyond that, you're going to ram your politics in comics. When people complain about it, you're going to say that you do no such thing. When we point out specifics, the go-to that they always go to is, well, they've always been in comics. How much anti-communist comics have been out there? You're just cherry picking exactly what it is that you want to cherry pick. You're going to cherry pick one egregious example from American life, and you're going to say that this applies to everyone else. The other thing is that I guarantee you this is the way that it works. When all of this goes down and there's this political upheaval, there are other comic book artists going to people like Jeff Lemire or elsewhere. Maybe Jeff Lemire is one of these people, and they'll go to others and they'll say, hey, I haven't heard you say anything on this political issue. Why are you staying silent? You have a responsibility to say something. Don't you care? Don't you want to fight racism? Don't you want to fight fascism? What are you going to do with your platform? I know this happens because I have seen it happen. People specifically use social media to try and get you to virtue signal. And if you're writing in a comic book and you're shocked when your readers are upset and they push back against these politics that you're pushing in comics, you shouldn't be surprised. Trace it back to whoever was sending you direct messages or demanding openly on Twitter that you use your platform to spread their political message of hyperbole. All right? You can't have it both ways. Either you are a political outlet or you're not a political outlet. And something like this, it's hard to argue. It's hard to argue otherwise. I can't even talk anymore. All right, so fascism. I don't like fascism. I don't like communism. I would hope that we could all agree that it's a bad idea to use comics to push the idea of actually physically harming people or justifying the physical harm of people. Can we agree on that much? I feel like that's the basis for some kind of understanding here. And until you're willing to admit that there is evil all around, there's gross stuff on your own political side. Uh, I don't see how things are going to change. There's going to continue to be two separate minds on the reality of American politics and ideology today. So anyway, there's my rant. On a separate note, this has it's fired me up because I have been working really, really hard on getting my stuff together, getting Downcast #2 ready. We're working on lettering right now. All of the pages are colored. Everything is drawn. Some stuff I need to work on in the Secret History of Strata, but all the art is finished for that as well. And so, things are moving ahead. I want to get this thing to the printer. This has a little fire under me because I realized that there are, massive, massive chunks of the population that think this is hyperbole, that think it's ridiculous, and they're readers that you don't care about. And many, who is it? The guy that wrote Deadly Class, Rick Reminder, he said that he doesn't want those people reading his books. Guess what? I do want you reading my books. I want everyone reading my books. Even if you are Antifa, you can read my books as well. But shame on you for your activities otherwise. Beyond that, read my books. It's ridiculous that comics have become so left wing that they control everything. And it is your fault. It is your fault that so many customers are leaving the hobby. This is enough to make me say, yeah, I'm done. I'm not going to be reading any Jeff Lemire books because this is ridiculous. I don't care. And this was liked by Matthew Rosenberg. So there you go, too. I don't want to know if you think it's okay to punch people, if you can call them a fascist, and therefore it's okay for you to justify your own violence. Okay? If you think that's cool, I don't think you're cool. And I will take your readers because I'm not going to be making those kinds of broad, sweeping judgments on the people that read my books. The books are escapism from this nonsense. Get off social media. Spend less time on Twitter. Meet real people. Meet people you disagree with. Meet your readers, for crying out loud. But don't call them fascists, especially when they are not fascist. Maybe you are the one that is overblowing this. Anyway, so thanks for watching the video. Appreciate it. Check out Downcast, Rise or Fall. And I've got other things coming. So if you're sick of this stuff, don't worry. There are me and many other creators out there that have your back, and we want to make books for you and, don't care about your politics. Thanks. Bye.